Hello everyone, this is Tim, and I had gotten some things in the mail from Clint Krause, so this is sort of an unboxing, flip through, show you the stuff that I got. But this is the excellent traveling volume, a fanzine of M.A.R. Barker's World of Tecmo, issue number 1. I had wanted to pick this up, but at the time I had already blown my RPG budget, so I didn't get a chance to get it, and I had a lot of regret about that. But thankfully, Clint sent this to me, so I was very excited. I'm sure some of you know that I'm a big fan of Tecmo and Empire of the Petal Throne, which this is definitely about. It's about that actual system and, of course, the setting. This has all kinds of different things in it. It has things about changes to alignment, an additional profession, basic talents, how they have changed in James's campaigns. There's additional profession, the shaman, patrons, a bunch of little bestiary things that have been translated over to Empire of the Petal Throne, magical devices, and an adventure called the Hidden Shrine. So, yeah, it just kind of goes through. It has kind of a simple but clean layout. It's easy to read. Flip through it here. Tables, spells. I like this reincarnation spell that they have in here, and it has all the Tecmo creatures that you could possibly have your soul shoved into. And the soul is interesting in Tecmo because you have 5 different parts of the soul, or 5 different souls, and hopefully we'll do a video on that at some point. This is one of the Sioux. That's how I've always pronounced them. I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it. That's the one thing about Tecmo. I'm not very good pronouncing English, let alone a foreign fantasy language. But they have various art of NPCs. I really like the NPC write-ups. I think it'd be very easy to use these as characters. But of course they're written up for NPCs, and I like that the idea of the zine is to make running an Empire of the Petal Throne game easier, because it is a little bit daunting as a new GM, or as a GM who has experience with other systems and settings, to come into this setting. It's very fleshed out. There's lots of clans and taboos and gods and religions and how they're taken care of and worshipped. But the art is great. Simple layout, clean, but it's easy to read. I sat down in one sitting and read this the other day, which is kind of nice in my busy life to be able to do that. Here's the adventure at the end, and they have the map. But it was fun to read through. I got a little dose of Tecmo in one sitting, so I appreciate that. It is 28 pages total, so it's not too hard to read through. Some of the ink had gotten on some of the last pages from the edge, but other than that, it's clean, it's laid out, it's nice to read through. The other things that Clint sent me, he sent me Lamentations of Flame Princess postcard, and I always enjoy the disturbing art that comes in there, but yeah, it's a postcard. I believe this is from one of the Kickstarters that I didn't actually get to do. And these are the zines that Clint is putting out that are mainly about his Lamentations of the Flame Princess campaign. So I was able to, I did more of a flip through of these because I'm not currently running a Lamentations game, but some of them are very interesting and of course disturbing. I like that he kind of has a little bit of a shout out section here in the front, talking about the things he's watching or reading. He talks about some of his house rules of his campaign. I really enjoy this ghoul market as a means for your Lamentations characters to be able to spend the money that they acquire over the many sessions of a campaign. And some of them are disturbing. It's kind of reminded me of Changing the Lost a little bit, like selling memories and bastard children that you find along the way, orphans, and all kinds of horrible stuff like that. Meet the Skinsmith. This guy's nasty. I like this sort of sketchy art too. Sort of, quickly done, but gets the point across. This little creepy guy over here, Vespero, the Antiquarian. And some of these write-ups are really cool. It seems like a lot of these things would be very easy to put into your campaign. Luminary, Lady of the Golden Lamp. This is like a firefly goddess with like human arms. His little advert in here for the Unity Underground, which is an RPG he's making. And Bronwick is dead. It gives a little adventure here. There's a lake with various places and locations. I like that it's simple, it's laid out, it gets the job done, gives you some ideas that you can plop into your campaign, either whole or, you know, you can modify them to fit to whatever thing you're doing. But, you know, it's keyed. Into the Odd, it has like, Clint has interviews with various people that I know through Google+. And Into the Odd is one of the, like a mini OSR game that you can pick up. I believe it's free to download, like most OSR games. But there's a nice little interview here at the end. And this is sort of a location that is keyed, that doesn't have like details with it. And you could, you know, either flesh it out, but Clint used this with his players, and they basically lived in this gray candle manor. So this is the handout that he gave them, and they were sort of given the task to fill it out. Like, what are you going to put over here in room 8? What are you going to put over here in room 9? You know, yeah, that sort of thing. So I thought that was kind of cool. It reminded me of an Evil campaign where I gave the player characters, they basically discovered this dark tower that wasn't actually completely empty, but it was mostly empty. So they had a lot of fun designing it and, you know, playing house. And, you know, he has adverts on the back for the Stygian Garden of Abelia Prem and Don't Walk in Winter Wood, which are two things that, you know, he kick-started this one and I actually backed it. And I think he had actually sent me Don't Walk in Winter Wood way back when. I think I might have lost it with a download problem or a problem with my laptop. But that was the first one. And the second one here, Vacant Ritual Assembly, it was Zarzine, issue 2, spring of 2015. And this art is especially good. It reminds me of the Book of Ebon Bindings, which is basically a Tekkamul product. It's very dark, talks about like demons and summoning and things, but that definitely reminded me of that. I love the sort of vagueness, the shadows, the poor woman. Or maybe she was the one that summoned it, who knows. But same thing, he has some shout-outs here in the beginning, talks about his campaign, how most of the stuff that's in here is either going to be in his campaign or will be at some point, or already is in his campaign. He gives a shout-out to Blue Spruce 786, which is one of my favorite YouTubers. He hasn't been around in a while, but I agree with Clint's sentiment about his channel. Revelry in Torth by Avenger Satanis, and, you know, other things on the back here. So it's kind of cool. It seems like, you know, Clint's just talking to you. So there's some names and some birth signs and how they give bonus to various stats. Talks about how you know, the personalities could be different if you are one of these birth signs. So it brings a little bit of astrology. I think he had a birth sign dice that he made that up for. Dretcher's Bay, which is really, it's sort of out there, and I love it. They have these 3 captains that run the town, and, you know, it has various things going on. But over here in Morton Island is the home of the nephropods, or nephropids, and their spawning pools. And so they're sort of like these like lobster guys. I don't know if you can see that there, but sort of gives the size for, you know, a fisherman, lobster guys, and then the bell crab, which is this giant thing they could fight. But I even like this little guy here. He's got the helmet and the snorkel stuff and the harpoon. You know, looking at these zines would kind of make me want to do my own, just to see what I could actually come across and pull together. I don't think I'm a layout guru like some of these other guys, though. There's this underground place underneath the water, so this is where they mainly fish. That's where those crabs come in. There's a guest article by Anxious P. Kind of goes through and talks about some things about the oarsman. His eyes fell as he spoke his woe. This is a fun table. Sort of talking about all kinds of nasty, sad things that have happened in characters' past. With thine eye beheld. This is a adventure here. Has some maps. I like the wandering fuckers chart over here. Goes through the various creatures and things. There's a map key. And then there's another interview here with Greg Gorgonmilk. Kind of follow his blog and see him a lot over on Google+. I follow a lot of the OSR guys over there. But he talks about Dolmenwood, which is going to be something that's coming out, I believe. It's sort of a folkloric fantasy RPG. So that was the interview at the end. And then there's an advertisement for Ritual Abuse Tarot. So he sent me those. And last but not least, I'm not even sure what these are really. Battle cards. And I opened them up. And I think you scratch off. There's these parts, like if you get like a penny, you can scratch them off. So I think you probably lay them down and scratch things off to battle someone. But I enjoy the art. Nice little map here. You know, anything with fantasy art and cards is fun. You know, sort of a Conan guy fighting a sword. You know, wizards, creatures, monsters. Has sort of that, you know, like classic fantasy feel to some of the art. So that was neat. So thank you, Clint, for sending me some stuff. It's always good to get some random stuff in the mail. I know you don't want anything back, but as in YouTube tradition, I'm going to try to get something together for you and send it out. You know. So yeah, so there's that. But yeah, he says, Tim, thanks for the great channel. Hope you dig this stuff, Clint. So Clint, thank you very much. I really liked getting this stuff, especially this. I had no idea you were going to send something like that. That's like really awesome. It's going to go into my Tecmo collection. But thanks a lot, Clint, and whether you like it or not, I expect you're going to be getting a package in the mail. So thanks.